All right, ladies, I am here tonight on the show. And tonight, what I'm going to do is something different. I'm just going to go through, who are the best quarterbacks and where they can land and stuff like that. It's about combine season. We're still about 2-3 months away from the NFL draft, but it's the time of year. Today they measure the hands. Joe Burrow is one of the, if not the most quarterback with the smallest hands in NFL history. I don't think it really matters, but whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about where some of these guys can land, stuff like that. All right, so everybody believes that Joe Burrow is going to Cincinnati number one. I think that will happen, but there are some reports that his father said that he might not want to go there. That he might pull an Eli Manning. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think he will go, but it's interesting. You're hearing a lot of stuff about will he pull an Eli Manning and ask for a trade once he gets drafted. Even Carson Palmer and TJ Who's Your Mama, Who's Mensada, told him not go there. Their priority is not to win football games. So you got guys that have been faithful to that franchise, in Carson Palmer, even TJ Who's Mensada, are kind of saying, I don't know if they're necessarily telling Joe Burrow, but they've kind of commented on public airwaves through Fox Sports and ESPN. Cincinnati's is not that focused on winning. If I was Joe Burrow, I would find a way to get out of there. But I do expect Joe Burrow to be the first pick in the NFL draft and to land in Cincinnati. A lot of people have said that Joe Burrow, that and he other than this year, obviously, winning the Heisman and winning the national championship, he hadn't been that good. In Ohio State, he couldn't even beat out fucking what's his face, Dwayne Haskins for the job. And then last year, he wasn't that great for LSU. That maybe he just got lucky one year with all the talent there on him. And so a lot of people are saying that guys like Tui Tuipulotu in Alabama and guys like Justin Herbert and Oregon had like better runs in college, were better for more than 1 year, and this dude couldn't even beat out Dwayne Haskins for the job in Ohio State, and ended up having to move to LSU, where last year he wasn't that great either. So a lot of people are saying, is Joe Burrow a 1 year wonder that he just get lucky with all these wide receivers? We're going to see. Obviously, he's not going into a great situation in Cincinnati, but let's see what happens. But a lot of people do believe that guys like Tui Tuipulotu or Justin Herbert can end up having better careers because they had more than one good year. Justin Herbert had a few good years with Oregon. Tui Tuipulotu had more than one good year with Alabama. They're saying they have a better track record than Joe Burrow, who might just be a 1 year wonder. We'll see what happens, but I believe Joe Burrow will land with Cincinnati. And then let's look at the next. So then I believe Tui Tuipulotu and Justin Herbert are the two interesting ones next, because there's a lot of possibilities for both Tui Tuipulotu and Justin Herbert. Tui Tuipulotu's got the hip injury. We don't know if he's going to be 100%, but I do expect Miami to take him. I do expect Miami to take the chance on him. I think they would be absolutely stupid. Miami has been terrible at this. Just take the chance with Tui Tuipulotu. Roll the dice and see what happens. I expect him to go to Miami. Keep an eye on for Detroit. I think Detroit could try to maybe jump in and get him. I've been reading some articles. They're getting a little bit frustrated with Matthew Stafford. So that's a team to watch out for. Tui Tuipulotu. Miami and Detroit. I believe the favorite should be Miami, but look for Detroit to try to trade up and get Tui Tuipulotu. But I do think Tui Tuipulotu will end up in Miami, and I do think Tui Tuipulotu, if healthy, could be a really good quarterback. Maybe like a left-hander version of Russell Wilson. Like, I think he could be. Now, interesting, left-handers don't do that good in the NFL, other than maybe Steve Young and maybe Michael Vick. A lot of left-handers like Tim Tebow, Matt Leinart have failed. But I do believe if healthy, this guy, because of also he's got athleticism, he's got speed. I think if healthy, Tui Tuipulotu could really be something in this league. I really believe so. The question is, where does he go? I believe there's an outside chance he goes to Detroit, but I believe Miami lands him. And then you got Justin Herbert. And this is where it gets really interesting with Justin Herbert, who I believe really kind of raised his stack up. You know, people were not that high on Justin Herbert, but he kind of raised his stock up in the last two games in the Rose Bowl and then in the Senior Bowl. I thought he did a good. He was fantastic in both of those games, and he raised up his stock. And I believe this is where a team like the Chargers or Carolina, who are, Chargers basically are looking for a new quarterback. They said they are not interested in signing Phillip Rivers. This is where I believe the Chargers can go in and say, hey, this is our guy. Let's trade up. Let's get Justin Herbert. Same thing with Carolina. I believe Tapper, the new owner of Carolina, is not convinced on Cam Newton at all. I believe he's trying to move on. Look for Carolina to also say, let's try to trade up and get Justin Herbert. I believe they're going to trade up and somehow and also Detroit, if they don't get Tutu Atwell, if he goes to Miami, look for Detroit to try to get on this one too. Somebody's going to trade up possibly. I think I'm looking at the Chargers. I'm looking at the Panthers. I think Justin Herbert would either end up with the Panthers or the Chargers. Outside chance he ends up with Detroit. And then the next one is the guy that everybody could be the steal of the draft. Jordan Love out of Utah State. This is the guy that could be he can be a late pick that could be the steal of the draft. Jordan Love. I read an article today that Green Bay could be interested in Jordan Love. Green Bay said that if he's still there, don't be surprised if they pick him up. Same thing with the Patriots, obviously. They're looking for a Tom Brady replacement. Possibly if, Tom Brady might not even be there this year. So there's a lot of teams that are going to be very interested. Every team that needs a quarterback is going to be interested in Justin Love once Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Tua Tagovailoa are gone. This will be the guy everybody's going to be fighting for right here, Justin Love. This could be the guy. This could be the next Russell Wilson, where he comes out of nowhere and he can become a star in this league. Look for Justin Love to land in a good situation, and he can actually maybe have a better start to his career than maybe a guy like Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow's going to be in a shitty-ass situation in Cincinnati, where Justin Love can land. He's going to land later in the draft with possibly a much better team, and don't be surprised if he ends up having at least a better first year, if not better first 3 years in the NFL than Joe Burrow, because he ends up in maybe even a guy like Justin Herbert if he ends up in Carolina or the Chargers. But yes, I heard that both the Packers and the Patriots would absolutely draft Justin Love if he's still available when it's their turn. So yes, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with these picks. Like I said, Justin Love, Justin Herbert could end up. They could end up benefiting from being drafted later on in the draft, going to better teams like Carolina, like the LA Chargers, than Joe Burrow to Cincinnati. Look what happened this year in the draft a few years ago. Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, Jets, Cleveland, Arizona. Dysfunctional organizations. Dysfunctional. What happened? Lamar Jackson, last pick, goes to Baltimore. So sometimes you see these quarterbacks, it's better to go late sometimes because you seem to benefit. You're still going to make your money, ladies and gentlemen. You are still going to make your money. You might not make that much money, your rookie contract, but if you prove you can play, just like Tom Brady proved he could play, just like Russell Wilson proved he could play, you're going to get eventually your money. So sometimes it's not the worst case scenario to get drafted later, because, like I said, Baker Mayfield, first overall, Cleveland. Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall, Baltimore. Who's having even a better career? Lamar Jackson. So, like I said, don't be surprised at all if guys like Justin Herbert going to the Chargers or the Panthers, or Justin Love landing wherever the hell he lands. Possibly, I don't know where the hell he would land, but don't be surprised if they end up having at least better starts to their career than Joe Burrow, who's going to be stuck in Cincinnati. or even Tui Tuipulotu, who might be stuck in Miami. Now, I do believe Miami, I think they have a plan. I like what they're going. I think they have a direction. I'm not so sure about Cincinnati, but I do believe Miami has a plan for the future. I like Brian Flores. I think they have an idea of where they want to go, where Cincinnati, I think they're making it up as they go. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Of who are these are the best quarterbacks, and like I said, I give you an idea: Joe Burrow to Cincinnati, Tuipulotu to Miami, Justin Herbert to either Carolina or LA Chargers, and then Justin Love. Like I said, everybody will fight for him. Once those three are gone, everybody will fight for him. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'll do a mock draft later on, and we'll see what happens. But until next time, I'm out like a light. Holla at your boy.